What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're doing a quick unboxing video, right? As we do here in the channel. I'm not sure exactly what's in here. Could it be a knife? Could it be a flashlight? I don't know. Last video I made, I thought it was a knife. It turned out to be the ACEBEAM Terminator M2. So if you haven't checked out the unboxing on this hardcore EDC flashlight, you are definitely missing out. So check it out. It has a spotlight and a floodlight with this nice switch here that allows you to switch between the two, and it is savage. So I'm really having a good time carrying this one. All right, so definitely check it out. I'll put a link in the description as well as at the end of the video. Of course, this knife or product and any other product that you see in this video will be linked down below. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you. Doing the honor today, we have the Kershaw Launch 19, right? This is a knife from earlier this year. This one is an automatic, and check me out trying to do the close with one hand. It's definitely a little bit of a challenge because this thing has what a heck of a kick. So I've been really having a blast carrying this one, right? I don't typically carry a lot of automatic knives, but this one really kind of scratches that EDC itch. It has a good size to it. Not too big, not too small. So check out the unboxing on this one if you haven't already. The review for it is coming up. So without further ado, let's open this package. I typically try to salvage a package if I can. Now this one doesn't really give me a lot of options for salvaging, helping Mother Nature. So I'm just gonna make a incision right here. Hopefully I didn't cut through anything important. And yeah, let's see what we are working with. We have a hardcore plastic case. That's a good start. So that tells me that we're working with a knife here, hopefully. And let's check it out. It's let's see, the name is the Hellfire, and blade material is S90V, and it has titanium and carbon fiber. My take is that this is the Tuya Knives Hellfire. So let's find out. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. It's nice and sealed, doesn't even want to open. Or did we put KC, did we put a hot glue on this? What's going on? We'll put some Gorilla Glue, right? Some Loctite. What's the deal here? What's the password? Holy smokes. Talk about a seal. That was a heck of a seal right there. These cases definitely locking up really good. So here is, ladies and gentlemen, the Tuya Knives Hellfire. And I believe there might be a mini version of this one. I'm not sure. This is the full-size version. Again, S90V. Carbon fiber and titanium on the handles. Give it a nice little clean here. We have a flipper opening, right? The jimping is only on the back side, it looks like, so that's going to be interesting. It has like a cleaver-ish looking blade, so let's go ahead and get this thing flipped open here, shall we? Bam! Talk about a cleaver chopper on the go, right? On the EDC. Man, this is one savage blade. Let's go ahead and start there. Holy macaroni, what a freaking tank. What a tank of a knife. That's exactly what this is. Woo! Okay, where do we even start? Where do we even start with this thing? Holy crap, I gotta just take a second, let this you know, sink in for a moment. It looks so crazy and wild, and at the same time, it's so different than much of anything else out there these days. It looks like most knives coming out are a run-of-the-mill of the same knife over and over again. This is certainly out there in left field for sure. So let's kind of break it down a bit. So S90V on the steel right here. Of course, we said this was, when I call it sort of like a cleaver style geometry to it, right? You might want to call it whatever you want to call it. Call it sheep's foot, reverse tan toe, whatever makes you sleep better at night. Has a savage fuller right here. I'm noticing that right off the bat. And you definitely got to check out this dual grind going on. So both of these are flat grind. It looks like I don't feel a hollow grind at all. And yeah, it just kind of levels up different angles to the flat grind, if you would. So that's really interesting, right? This one's a little bit of a taller flat, more acute angle. This is a little bit more open angle right here, both flat. So this thing, oof, yeah, this thing is a laser beam. We're gonna do our very scientific paper cutting test here and cardboard cutting test towards the end. So to the handles, so first of all, it is a frame lock, drop shot action. Gotta love that drop shot action. And that's something about Tuya nice. I have the Tuya Caladan V2 right here. Definitely drops really good as well. Check that out. Almost effortlessly. And same deal here. And by the way, what a coincidence. You got your man Skeleton Bladeworks. Jim Skelton is the designer on both the Hellfire as well as the Caladan V2, right? So yeah, I could see some of his design language going on there a little bit. The savagery, of course, it's kind of goes hand in hand with Skeleton designs, to say the least. Check out the ergonomics. So we got a flipper here that works as a finger guard right there, and you have a nice little round curvature here for your index. All other fingers follow suit. I have medium hands, not the biggest of hands, not the smallest of hands, and I'm able to get a full purchase on here, right? Full purchase, no refund, like Knife Dope will say. And if I want to put my thumb up here, man, okay, that works really good. I get some jimping here. I could do this position. All right, that's not bad. Probably my favorite is going to be resting my thumb right here. That feels right at home with a good complementary jimping to go along with that. And bam, we are getting some work done. Also, you know, there's some belly to this cleaver, right? Which is good. I could do some tabletop cutting. Also has a very useful utilitarian tip right there for utility cuts. Drag cuts are going to be really good. We have your lock bar here. Good access to it, by the way. I got a nice little indentation going on the lock bar. Allows you to easily push the lock bar out of the way, and the blade just drops. So ball bearings on here are really good, super smooth. D10 is tuned really well. Oof, check out, that's just the right amount of tension. I was putting a little bit of pressure on the lock bar up first, but now you can see it, right? Good amount of tension there, and well, bam. Holy smokes. Talk about out-of-the-box design, something you don't see every day. Could I use the fuller to deploy? Let's see. Oh. Okay. All right. That changes things. Yes, that definitely changes things. So yep, you sure can. Let's do it a third time because there you go. Yep, you got to test it a couple of times to make sure it is not just getting lucky on the first time. Can we do it with the thumb on the fuller? That's a little bit more challenging because I am putting pressure on the lock bar. Lock bar does take a good chunk off the handle section. So maybe down here. Okay, you could, right? Check that out. So I'm gonna close it. And then if I try to deploy from down here, I sure can. So there you go. You got 3 deployment options. At the very least, you could use your thumb. You can reverse flick it, which you already know is gonna be my personal favorite, making full use. Putting that fuller to work is what I like to. That's what I like to do. And of course, you got the flipper, which is by default, you know, the way to go. By the way, there's a nice little like landing zone here for your finger. You can see those cutouts on both sides of the scales, and I'm sure you can push button. Yeah, push button this thing all day. That's probably why the jimping is in the back right there. So push button it, boom, golden, right? Could you light switch it? You sure could, right? So you could do it both ways, but based on how the jimping is done, I'm sure push buttoning it was the intended way. Either way works. By the way, I got to give it to the carbon fiber inlays. Shredded carbon fiber looks really good. Those inlays are nice and flush. All right, I don't see anything out of place. Tuya, again, doing a really good job. They do an amazing job. I'm just going to say that. In case you didn't know, now you know. Tuya is doing a killer job with all of their designs, and I believe they even do OEM work for other designers or other companies as well. So very, you know, I can see the Skeleton Works design language quite a bit, right? Again, the savagery has been dialed to 1,000 on here. And so we got a lock bar insert for steel on steel contact versus titanium on steel contact. So that's better for longevity. Captive pivot on the show side. Looks like big hardware, except some T6. But we're not going to get into that on this unboxing video. Check out the back spacer. Right here runs all the way from the front, pretty much, where that index finger landing zone is that I was talking about a second ago, all the way back to wrapping around here in the back. And that's just one savage blade, man. There's absolutely no way around it. So let's do some size comparisons here, shall we? So we'll do, of course, next to the Tuya Caladan V2, which is a dancer, by the way. Likes to shake back and forth a little bit. That's going to be a bigger knife. All right, obviously a narrower blade, nowhere near as tall as the Hellfire here, but it does have a longer cutting path. All right, different geometry altogether, of course. Let's bring the Kershaw Launch 19, which is the one that we use to unbox this package. And so you can see the Launch 19 may be just a little bit bigger. So this is definitely a medium knife, not a large knife, not a small knife, but I would say a medium knife without a doubt. So check that out right there. Let's maybe throw in here one more. That one being the Vosteed RSKAOS as well. That's going to be a little bit of a longer knife. All right, Warncliffe geometry on that one. All right, again, the idea here is just to more or less give you a ballpark. Let's do some more of the usual ones here in the channel. So of course we'll do the PM2, which is going to be larger, of course. Here's the Para 3. Very comparable to the Para 3. Maybe a hair bigger than the Para 3, but very close comparison nevertheless. Here's your Demko AD 20.5. And the smaller brother, the Shark Cub. And it's definitely bigger than the Shark Cub, and actually a tad bit bigger, maybe a 1/4 inch bigger than the AD 20.5. You guys take a look there for yourself. Some popular knives from last year. Here's the Civivi Sentinel Strike and the Vision FG. Both of those are going to be on the larger end of things, so therefore they're going to be slightly bigger knives. And last but not least, of course, two other very popular budget knives, the CJRB Pyrite and the Vosteed Raccoon. So let's say the Hellfire might be a little bit bigger than the Pyrite and definitely more comparable to the Raccoon, if anything, size-wise right there. But, you know, the idea is just at least give you an understanding, right, kind of where it lands size-wise. Again, the ergonomics feel really good. Pocket clip is nice and comfortable, believe it or not. So I give it maybe a good first impressions, good 9.5 out of 10. Let's go ahead and finally test that blade, shall we? Let's do our scientific cutting test here, which consists of cutting some paper and some cardboard, nothing fancy. S90V being one of my favorite steels of all time. And check out those swirls right there, nice and beautiful. Let's get some full slices. Yes, yes, sir. Wow, this looks like the kind of knife. I had this in the back of my mind throughout the entire video from the very beginning. This looks like your butcher style knife right here. So if you're a butcher and you were to EDC a knife, this is definitely the first knife you definitely consider. Kind of reminds me of just a full-blown, full-size butcher knife, to say the least here. And it's just savage. It takes savage to a whole new level. So yeah, of course, it's going to cut very well. S90V is going to put in work. And in case you're wondering, does it even make a difference, the fact that it's dual ground? Not at all, because you actually have the wider or thicker ground first. So it goes from a wider angle to a narrower angle. And, you know, you wouldn't necessarily cut like this first, I wouldn't think, right? You wouldn't cut from tip to back. You typically always cut back to front. And so that really helps when cutting, right? So there's no issues with that dual ground at all. Let's, of course, finally do our cardboard cutting, and we have a single wall cardboard today. Just your everyday, you know, this is a Coca-Cola company cardboard from some sodas we got earlier in the week. So remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle. And it's going to look something like this. Here we go. I can tell you right off the bat, no effort whatsoever. S90V and gray geometry, definitely doing its thing. Wow, and I'm doing it even slower than I would, just so you guys can see it in action a little bit better. Yeah, that is absolutely effortless, you guys. Absolutely zero effort right there cutting through that cardboard. Man, what a tank. What a tank this thing is. It's quirky, it's different, it's unique, weird, interesting, and I love it. I'm loving it already. You guys go ahead and rate it in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy? How much of an edge has it retained? And keep in mind, it's not a brand new knife out of the box, right? This has been making its rounds through the, I believe this one's coming to me via the Lefty EDC knife pass around. So shout out to Lefty. Check out his channel if you haven't already. give him a sub. He makes knife and EDC content as well. And yeah, great action here. Good drop shot, good detent that is nicely tuned. Multiple deployment options. A reverse flick being my favorite, of course. You can thumb deploy, flipper deploy, push button, or, you know, light switch it. Whichever way you want to do it, man, this thing is definitely something. Pocket clip is not reversible. It is very decently deep carry. Now, the design on the handle, though, it sort of kind of gives you this peaky end right here. But other than that, about that much of the knife will stick out, if anything. And blade alignment looks really good. That is spot on right there. It looks pretty good. Smack in the middle. And yeah, good solid lock up, no side to side, no up and down. But this, of course, is just a quick unboxing and first impressions video. This is not a review video in any way, shape, or form. You just saw me take the knife out of the box, and of course, I have to carry it for some time in order to come back with a comprehensive review. And that's how we do things in this channel. If you are new, please consider subscribing. I promise you it will be worth coming back for more. And go ahead and smash that like button while you're at it. It is absolutely free and it doesn't cost you anything. And it will certainly help out the video reach a larger audience. But let me know, what do you guys want to know about the Hellfire for the review video, right? What kind of questions do you have? What questions you want answered? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a discussion down there. You guys know the drill. I'm going to carry this knife for quite some time and then come back with a comprehensive review here in the very, very near future. Just notice this just now. So the carbon fiber is on one side and not the other side. I know most knives, they do. Even if it's a smaller insert, they still do carbon fiber on the other side. So yeah, it comes down to taste, comes down to preference. Again, not a issue or anything, just something that I just noted just now. But yeah, savage knife to say the least. And I'm excited to definitely carry this one. I know it's going to be a unique experience for sure. I'm not a cleaver geometry blade type of EDC person, but I don't know, this knife may change my mind. I know I'm about to find out here over the next week or so. But you guys know the drill, guys. Smash that like button again. Subscribe if you're not already. If you made it to the end, you are the real MVP. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the Tuya Caladan V2 over on the left of your screen right there, and the unboxing for the Launch 19 on your right side right there. All the knives are linked down below. If you want to pick one up and you do it through those links, it certainly helps out the channel at no extra cost to you. You guys can support the channel on Patreon or right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with me until the very end. Love you. Take care. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.